In this video, we will be making an origami flower vase. And I found this one online ages ago. It's basically a variation of the trapezoid box, but with much more fun, I think, outcomes. And there will be a variation on this one at the end of the video as well, so you can experiment with it yourself at home to see what you can make. So we'll start with the color side up, fold it in half diagonally. Okay, open it back up, flip it over, white side up, fold it in half the regular way. Okay, open it back up, fold it in half the other way. Okay, open it back up. So now we're going to bring these two edges toward the center. I'll go nice and slowly so you can watch. Like that. And now we're going to flatten this back over it. Again, feel free to pause and rewind and rewatch if something does not make sense to you. So now we're going to flip it on its edge. We're going to open it up so that we can get our nice line of symmetry. And then flip it over. It's 11:30 at my house. And do the same thing on this side. So now that we're here, we're going to take this tip. We're going to fold the tip to the center line. Try to get it as even as you can. And then we're going to do the same thing on the adjacent side. Bring this tip to the center. See if you can get them to meet. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this tip. We're going to fold it down toward the center as well. As far as it'll go. Okay, we're going to bring that back up. We're going to fold the tip to the little line that we just created. Like that, and then we're going to fold this entire little flap down like this. There we go. Now we have to do all this same stuff on the other side. So flip it over, bring this tip to the center. Also, see if you can get it to line up with the opposing side, like I have. Then same thing, adjacent side, bring this tip to the center. See if you can get them to line up best you can. Go. So now we're going to bring this tip, we're going to fold it down as far as it'll go comfortably without ripping. Then we're going to open it back up. We're going to bring the tip to the line that we just created. Yeah, and then we're going to bring this whole little flap down like this. Okay, so now we're going to flip it on its edge and we're going to open up the side that we haven't worked on yet on both sides. Again, if that doesn't make sense to you, please rewind and rewatch what I just did. There we go. So now we're going to take this edge, we're going to bring it to our center line. There will be a bunch of paper kind of toward the bottom, so don't be surprised and just do your best to flatten it out as much as you can. Like that. Then we're going to do the same thing on the adjacent side, so bring this edge to the center line. Good. Might never end up even. I think it's the paper. Okay, so now we're going to take this little flap we just created. We're going to fold it down as far as it will go, which isn't very far. Okay, and see there's kind of, there's a little bit, it's hard to see in the light, but there's a little bit of a pocket here. So we're going to take the flap that we just made and we're going to fold it over the pocket so that it will hold our little flower vase together. And you can pause and rewind and rewatch that, or we have to do everything on the other side too. So let's flip it over, and like before, edge to center. Edge to center. Then we're going to bring this tip down as far as it will go, which is not very far. And then you're going to put it into this little flap, like this. There we go. So now we're going to help it to inflate. So we're going to bring this tip, fold it down to the first little point here, because that'll be the base of our flower vase. There we go. Open it back up, flip it over, do the same thing, just to kind of give it something nice. Now we're going to kind of open it up into a diamond shape. You can either put your fingers through the hole and flatten it out, or if it's small enough, which this might be, you can blow in it. And there we go. Oh. There we go. Mine didn't quite hold itself together super well. You might have to, you know, poke it out a little bit, but otherwise, you have a beautiful little flower vase. And you're not limited to flowers. You can put anything you want. You could even put taller stuff like pencils if you really wanted to. And so now I'm going to show you the variation that I told you about. So when you're at this point where you have your line of symmetry, instead of folding the tip to the very center, you can fold the tip at a slight angle. So I'm going to fold the tip to approximately, I don't know what that is, 2/3. So you can either fold it toward the flappy parts here, which will get you a taller, skinnier vase, or you could fold it to about 2/3 toward the closed end, and that will get you a little bit squatter, but still kind of, it's skinny and squat at the same time. It's hard to explain. So for this, I'm going to fold mine toward the open end so that mine will be skinnier. And then again, same thing on the adjacent side. Okay, and then same thing as we did before. Bring this tip down as far as it'll go without ripping. Open it back up. Tip to the line you just made. And close it back over. There we go. So you can tell this is going to look kind of different. So flip it back over. We're going to do the same thing. And you can actually use the opposite side as your guide point for how far to fold to the center, and then it'll be somewhat even. Can't guarantee perfection, even for me, and that's okay. Because we're not here for perfection. We're here to make cool stuff out of paper. Okay, and we're going to fold this tip down as far as it'll go without ripping. Open it back up, fold down to the line that you just created, and then back down. And again, the rest of this will now be the same, so you'd open it up to the flat part, edge to center. And this'll feel like there's a lot of paper on the other side, so don't be surprised. Go. Same thing, adjacent side. There we go. Tip down, and then into the little pocket. You want to try and cover the disconnected edges. That's kind of what I screwed up on this side. So now flip it over, same thing, edge to center. Edge to center. Tip down. And cover up the little bits by shoving it into the pocket. And so now you can see this base is going to be teeny tiny. Teeny tiny. So I'm going to fold my base tip down like that. Flip it over, same thing. And yeah, this I think I can blow into this one too. So yeah, so now this vase is very interestingly shaped, isn't it? It's kind of tall. I can't guarantee it will actually stand. Let's see. Will it stand? Yay, it did. So there you go. And feel free to experiment with this as you like. Like I say, you can make one a little squatter like this. You can make one a little taller like this. You could even make kind of a boutonniere holder if you folded the edges to the center instead of the corners, if that makes sense. So if yours doesn't look exactly like mine, that's okay. If it looks, you know, super different, that means that you're experimenting, and that would be super cool. And it fell over. If this is your first time making it, I'm sure it looks great for your first time. And as always, thank you so much for joining me.